Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, where today I'm doing this eyeshadow look using two palettes from Glamlite. A subscriber requested that I use my Glamlite palettes, and I thought, well, I've got two. One is large, one is medium, so why don't I do a palette bingo between the two of them and choose 5 shades all together and see what I come up with. So here's the result, and if you want to see how I did it, don't go anywhere. If you are that subscriber who requested Glamlite, this is for you. And if you've never been here before, hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. I really enjoy playing with colorful eyeshadow, and I enjoy uploading several videos every week. It's all eyeshadow related content. If you want to see more, please consider liking and subscribing before you go and hitting the notification bell. Now let's get going. Okay, so I have already randomly generated the numbers using my phone, and I'm going to put up in the video the screenshot or the screen recording of when I did that. But I want to go through them and swatch them on my hand because I'm not sure what my color story actually is. I just pulled up the numbers. I decided to pull 3 shades from the MERCARI palette because it's larger, and then 2 shades from Dirty Martini because it's smaller. And so I am curious to see what I got. So the first number I got in MERCARI, number 17. So that is, let's see, show you here, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This is the shade called New Beige, and it is a purple shimmer, which is not terribly surprising because I feel like the MERCARI palette is kind of heavy on purple. So I'm going to swatch this here. New Beige, and that's what that looks like. It's a pretty purple. The formula is not... The formula feels like a different MERCARI or a different Glamlite formula. I don't know, it feels a lot more traditional and less high shine. Huh, it's strange, but anyway, that's the color New Beige. Then I got the number 1, which is called Harley, and that is this matte right here. So glad to get a matte always. It's a super boring matte. It's a skin tone matte. You probably can't even see it. It's right here next to New Beige. Harley. Can't even see it. Literally my skin tone. So that'll be a good blending out shade. And then finally in the MERCARI palette, I pulled the shade 28, which is, let's see, 6, 12, 18, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, the shade Handy. This shade has actually gotten a lot of use since I've owned the palette. It's a good yellow. So here's the shade Handy, where I can't even see where I swatched the other one. I know it's next to the purple. Okay, right here. Here's the shade Handy. So far I have a skin tone matte, a yellow matte, and a rather unexciting purple shimmer. Let's see what the next palette gives me. In the Dirty Martini palette, I pulled the shade 3, which is Just a Splash. That's this one here. This is probably one of my most used shades in this palette as well. I think this one brings me a nice orangey shine, not too green, not too brown. So here's Just a Splash. Now that's the Glamlite formula that I'm looking for in my shimmers. I'm not sure what's going on with this one over here. Maybe they upgraded their formula after the MERCARI palette. I'm not sure, but that's the Just a Splash shade. And finally, I drew number 14. This is 15 pan palette, so this is number 14. Another shimmer called Olive Lover. Yeah, I haven't used this one hardly at all. Ooh, it's a pretty color. Let's see, I'll swatch it up here. It's a pretty color. It's a lovely silvery based olive green. It's very pretty. So these shades excite me more than the MERCARI shades, and that doesn't mean I know what I'm going to do with them. Oh, let's see. I feel like these 4 shades all go well together. These kind of remind me of like the Wilderness palette, you know, more earth tones. And then there's this purple, which is doing its own thing and also not very impressive. I'm not liking the formula of that particular color, and I don't know why. I don't really want to use it. I'm going to go off camera and prime my eyes and figure out what I'm going to do with this color story, and I'll be back and we'll get going with this. Okay, I've decided I'm going to let myself cheat a little bit because I have to wear this look for the whole day and I don't want to hate it. And right now I'm not at all excited about this color story. It's got some potential, but then there's that total neutral shade, which is not going to show up at all. And then there's the purple shade, which I'm not liking how it performs anyway, and I don't know how it plays into the color story that I've got with the other colors. So I feel like I kind of have 1 matte and 2 shimmers that I can work with. So the way I'm going to cheat is by bringing in a matte color from the Dirty Martini palette that matches this green. So I'm going to stay with the color scheme that I pulled, but I'm giving myself a matte option that gives me more versatility in the look. So I'm going to use the shade Oh, which one's a better match, garnish or dry vermouth? It's a matter of undertones, honestly. Garnish looks better in one light, but then dry vermouth looks better in the other light. I think I'll go with dry vermouth because it's a little bit deeper and a little bit more grounded, and it's also going to play into the deeper tones of the shimmer. So I am going to, well, I'm going to get started actually. First, I'm going to start in the #1 shade from Michaela, which is called Harley. This is going to be a wash of color in my entire crease because I don't think it's going to show up at all. And I have to lay it down. See, okay, it's showing up as a slight deeper tone than my regular skin. It's a beautiful buffing out shade. It just vanishes into nothing on me. Hopefully you guys can see that I am actually using it. But it's a total bust. Like, this is adding literally nothing to my look. So my husband got up at his usual time today to study, and I slept a little bit longer. And the next thing I know, I hear the front door shut as he goes to work. And I sort of jarred awake, and I thought, oh, I need to film. I have been putting some pressure on myself, I think. I really, really enjoy filming these videos. I'm going to take, what am I doing? I'm going to take a smaller blending brush and go into the shade Handy. This one's also a little bit denser, so I'm going into Handy and I'm placing this on the whole inner corner. I really enjoy filming these YouTube videos, and I really enjoy doing my eyeshadow. And I have to remind myself now and then, I started eyeshadow as creative expression. I started eyeshadow because I enjoy it. I do it because I like to play with colors, and I like to, I don't know, get in touch with my more girly side and put on makeup, which is something that I never did. I started eyeshadow for me, and I started YouTube to share what I was learning because I was enjoying it, and to meet people and make community, and all of those things have happened, and it's been a lovely journey, and I do really enjoy it. Now I'm going into Dirty Martini, the dry vermouth shade with a denser blending brush. I'm going to put this on my outer corner and into the crease. It's going to meet up with this yellow matte. I've been really enjoying YouTube. However, I never want to get to the point where my hobby or my side interest has taken over my life. And when I say this hobby, I mean doing the eyeshadow, filming the eyeshadow looks, and editing the videos, and taking the time to make thumbnails and uploading. Like, it's a process, but it's a hobby. And I never want it to take over my life where it's cutting into time that I should be spending doing more important things, like hanging out with my husband or my kids, getting to bed on time, doing housework, or anything else in life that is actually more important than playing with colorful powder. When I sort of jolted awake this morning and thought, oh, I have to film, because the goal is to film first thing. As soon as my husband walks out the door, I want to start filming before my children wake up. I'm going to have a newborn in a couple of months, and that schedule legitimately might be changing, but that's where I am right now. And so sort of jumping out of bed going, I need to film. And then I thought about it. I was like, why? What is the rush here? I've cleaned off that brush on a color switch, and I'm just tapping away from the color in the edges here. Anyway, what is the rush? The rush was to film before the children wake up. That was the goal. But there is no reason that my little hobby here should be creating any kind of stress for me. I am almost 30 weeks pregnant. If I'm able to lie in bed a little bit longer and get the rest or the sleep that my body needs because I'm growing another human being, I should take that. I shouldn't be leaping out of bed to film an eyeshadow look for any reason, honestly. But I've gotten ahead of myself. December is almost totally full, and I've already started videos for January, and I already have ideas percolating for February. Like, it's not a problem. I'm not behind, and even if I were, it's a hobby. If I take some time off because I get sick, or because I need to rest, or because I have a baby, or because there are just more important things in my life right now, that's okay. There's nothing about this that should be causing me stress. So it's really pressure that I've put on myself. Like, I want to get the video filmed. Okay, well, that's well and good, but you have to do so within a healthy balance. And I think I was just reminded of that when I got out of bed this morning and realized that I was pushing myself to quickly get dressed and make my hair presentable and run downstairs and start a video before the kids wake up. And of course, when I came downstairs, the dog had peed on the carpet and she needed to go out. And then I decided to do this palette bingo, so that meant drawing numbers, and that took extra time. And all of that was feeling like more pressure. Why am I putting pressure on myself? That's crazy. It's foolishness, really. Now that I've blended out these shades, I'm just going back into dry vermouth and tapping a little bit more pigment in this area, but I'm not really blending it at this point. I'm just adding it in. Both of the shimmers that I want to use are in the Dirty Martini palette. So I'm taking a flat brush, going into the shade Just a Splash, and I'm going to spray it. I'm taking Just a Splash and laying this on my whole lid space. Well, almost everything up to the green. I'll leave a little bit of space between this shade and the green matte. So when I was outside with the dog, I was sort of giving myself a bit of a, maybe not a pep talk. What's the opposite of a pep talk? Kind of a grounding talk. Like, Rachel, come on, get your act together. This is unnecessary. And I was telling myself, okay, this is a hobby. This is something you started and continue because you enjoy it. But if at any point it becomes unbalanced or no longer fun or bad, then you've crossed a line, an unhealthy line, and you need to deal with that. So if I'm leaping out of bed in the morning to take advantage of the potential hour before my children wake up and need me, in and of itself, that's not bad. But if it's gotten to the point where I'm neglecting other things, and when I'm looking around right now, my house is a little bit of a mess. I need to clean the bathrooms, and I need to catch up with some laundry, and I didn't do the dishes last night. And part of that I can blame on being pregnant. It's getting hard to clean the bathrooms. Like, I'm almost 30 weeks pregnant. It's getting difficult to crawl into a shower or a tub and scrub it. That's getting a little tricky. But I have a 10-year-old daughter who can help me. And she does the toilets anyway. I'm flipping the brush and grabbing the other shimmer in this palette called Olive Lover. And I'm going to spray this one as well. I'm going to lay Olive Lover between the shimmer and the mattes, really. This is why I chose the dark green matte, to bridge the gap between these two shimmers. Anyway, yes, it is legitimately getting tricky to clean the bathrooms, but I have help. I have a 10-year-old, and my husband has never, ever, ever complained about how I keep house. Whether I do it well or I don't do it well, he's never complained. He's wonderful. But I know that I can do better. I know that I can take a little bit of extra time in the evenings and pick up the baby's toys. And I can take the 10 minutes at intervals throughout the day to deal with the dishes in the kitchen instead of letting them pile up. If my eyeshadow hobby has gotten to the point where I'm leaping out of bed to film a video and then dedicating a chunk of my time during the day, and that hobby is pulling me away from more important things, I have lost my balance. I'm really liking how this is looking. I'm really liking these earth tone greens and yellows. And I think it's really pretty. The only color I haven't used yet is New Beige, which is that disappointing purple shimmer. I really wish I'd pulled literally any of the other purple shimmers in the palette, because for some reason this New Beige formula just feels like an older shimmer. It does not feel like the rest of the Glamlite shimmers. It feels nothing like the two I've already used. It feels nothing like any of the other shimmers in the MERCARI palette. I don't quite understand, but that's what I pulled, so that's what I'm going to use. And I think I'm going to put it in the outer corner. I really don't want to use this shade, but that's what I've got. So first I'm going to start with a small and pinch blending brush and go into the handy color, which is the yellow matte. And I'm bringing the yellow matte on most of the lower lash line. Anyway, so I think I've lost my balance. I didn't commit to any kind of like everyday upload schedule for December or November, or 12 days of Christmas or Vlogmas or anything like that. All I committed to was doing a week of the Merry Christmas palette. Sorry, I thought I saw a spider. I did not see a spider. Hate spiders. I'm going to try to pick up this weird shimmer shade on a small pencil brush. It's a little bit denser than some of my other pencil brushes. Going into New Beige, and I'm kind of roughing up the pan a bit. I'm going to spray it. So I'm taking New Beige and I'm laying it in my outer quarter. Let's see how it performs. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I had committed to the Merry Christmas week of series, and that was fun, but that was the only commitment that I made on YouTube. And I think that was probably a healthy thing to do in terms of not over committing, because sometimes life is unpredictable and you may or may not be able to fulfill a commitment. Actually, this purple's pretty. I'm not completely in love with it next to the earth sorts of colors, but it is pretty. It's not performing the way that most Glamlite shimmers do. But I still have wanted to get out good content and my regular upload schedule, and I wanted to get out holiday themed content, which can be a little bit more pressure to put out a video with a specific theme, because doing something with a theme kind of pigeonholes you a little bit. Maybe I need to have the right color shirt to work with the theme I want to do, and that means I have to do the specific laundry to have that shirt clean on the day when I'm able to film. Things like that, just little details that kind of pile up and make a themed video or a themed series potentially a little trickier. I'm going to take this shade from ColourPop's Creme Gel Liners. This is the shade Extra Frosting, and I'm going to do my whole waterline with this. I think I lost my train of thought a little bit. I had been putting pressure on myself to maintain what I was doing. There's nothing wrong with what I was doing, and maintaining it hasn't really been difficult. So there's nothing wrong with that either. The problem is when I put pressure on myself to do so. That's the problem, because I am a mother of 2. I am pregnant. We are talking about moving in the next few months. I need to start filling boxes with things that don't get used very often, or seasonal clothes or home decor or whatever. Christmas is almost here. There's just a lot. And so while I'm doing fine as far as making this content and enjoying it, if at any point it feels like it's pressure or it feels like it's taking over and other things are not getting done, that's not okay. And I think that's where I am this morning anyway. This is a hobby and it needs to be kept in that perspective. Other things matter more. I am going to go off camera and finish or do the other side. I'm liking this overall. Actually, no, I am liking this. I am gonna finish the other side and be right back to close out this video. Okay, here is the finished look. Let me tell you what I did. I put a black eyeliner on the top lashes, but I didn't wing it out because I didn't feel like it. And then the only other thing I'm wearing on my face is this from Physicians Formula. It's a bronze booster. I don't know. It's linked down below. I do have NYX Butter Gloss on my lips in the shade Cinnamon Roll. That's everything. I don't have a blush. I don't have a highlighter. I just didn't want to. Anyway, to close out my thoughts on this topic, I do eyeshadow for me. I do it because it is creative expression and it's fun. I don't need to film an eye look. I don't need to take selfies of an eye look and put them on the internet. I don't need to go anywhere after doing an eye look. I can stay home. Like today, I'm gonna stay home and clean my house. I'm gonna fold laundry, I'm gonna do the dishes, I'm gonna clean the bathrooms, all while wearing this eye look because I did the eyeshadow for me. I don't need to take the time to put it out there in the world if it's for me. And I have to hold on to that perspective because as much as I enjoy making YouTube videos and uploading them and talking with you guys in the comments and having that community and having a common shared interest, as much as I really truly enjoy that, if at any point I lose the balance between a healthy hobby and focusing on things that are truly important in life, not that hobbies aren't important, but there are other things that are more important. So if I lose that balance or I end up pressuring myself to do something that is supposed to be a hobby and not a burden, I'm no longer in a good, healthy place. I just have to keep that perspective and remind myself of that now and then. Because as I watch my channel grow and I watch the community, my subscribers grow, and yeah, we have a lot of fun and it's a good time, I need to maintain a good balance. At the end of the day, I do this for myself. If I don't go anywhere, if nobody else sees my eye look, it doesn't matter because I did it for me and I like it and I saw it and this is where I am. So I hope you guys understand. I know you do, and I know that you are not putting any pressure on me. It's totally in my own head. It's totally something that I've built up, and sometimes I need to bring it down a notch or two so that I can keep a good homeostasis in my world. Thank you for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed the eye look. I hope that you consider subscribing to my channel before you go and hitting the notification bell. I am almost done for 2022 filming and I have been having such a good time. Definitely hoping that you guys have been enjoying the content I've been putting out this year. Let me know in the comments below what you've liked, maybe where you think I could improve, and until I see you guys soon in my next video, I hope you have a great day. Bye!